Please use the WebEx chat feature to let us know if you're having any technical difficulties, and we'll do our best to assist you. We also encourage you to provide your email address in the chat feature if you'd like to be added to our project distribution list. As we proceed with our informational presentation, please enter any questions you may have in the chat. All participants are on mute, but to help the meeting run smoothly, please do not unmute your phone or your WebEx connection. Thank you, and we will begin shortly. Good morning again, everyone. The time is 11:30, and we will now begin the second of 3 virtual public information sessions for the Sabine Pass to Galveston Bay Program's Freeport Project. On behalf of the project team, we thank you for your time and interest in the Freeport Project. My name is Connor Stokes. I will be assisting the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers and Velasco Drainage District today for the public information session. Before we proceed with our agenda, I would like to review some housekeeping items to help today's meeting run smoothly. The chat feature is open for you to provide your email if you'd like to be added to our email distribution list. Please do not unmute your phone or WebEx audio connection with the button at the bottom of your screen. As you think of questions for the project team today, please enter them into the WebEx chat feature. We will collect these questions and later, following the presentation, select questions will be presented to our panel for their comment and response. Please note that we may not have time to respond to all questions submitted during the meeting today. However, we encourage you to submit questions or inquiries to the project email address shown on screen at this time. Please understand that this public information session is not considered a formal NEPA public meeting. Therefore, any questions or responses provided today will not become a part of the administrative record. However, we do value your participation, and we look forward to taking and responding to your questions after the presentation. I'll now introduce the project team. From the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers Galveston District, we are joined by Eddie Irigoyen, Project Manager for the Freeport Project, Ben Caldwell, Lead Engineer for the Freeport Project, Corrine Rampal, Real Estate Specialist for the Freeport Project, and Kelly Burks-Copes, Chief Program Support Branch for the Mega Projects Division. And from the Velasco Drainage District, we are joined by David Youngblood, Assistant Superintendent. During the meeting today, opening remarks will be followed by an informational presentation about the Freeport Project from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. After the presentation, the project team will take and respond to questions about the project that have been submitted into the chat feature. I'll now turn over the meeting to Kelly Burks-Copes.
Thank you, Connor, and thank you to everyone joining us this morning. We trust that most of you are familiar with the project and hope that this is not your first time receiving information about the Sabine to Galveston or S2G program or the Freeport Project specifically. But if it is, we're excited to bring you an update today, and we plan to continue to do this sort of engagement on a fairly regular basis over the course of the next several years. This is an important project for the region. Your input is vital to the process, and we look forward to hearing from you. With that, I'd like to hand it over to the cost share sponsor, Mr. David Youngblood from the Velasco Drainage District.
Hello, and thank you everyone for attending today's public information session for the Sabine to Galveston program on this Freeport project. We here at VDD look forward to hearing all your questions and concerns and addressing them along with Army Corps of Engineers. Again, we'd like to thank the Army Corps of Engineers for setting up this proceedings. And we look forward to continuing moving on forward with this project. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly and David. We will now proceed with the Freeport Project presentation from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers Project Manager, Eddie Irigoyen. Eddie?
Thank you, Connor. Good morning, everybody. And again, thank you for participating on this public information session. And my name is Eddie Irigoyen, and I'm the project manager for the Freeport project of the Sabine to Galveston program. So first, I would like to give you guys an update for those of you that joined us on our last public information session back in September. I'd like to give you a quick update of where we've come along from September to now. So first, we have had some changes to our contract FPV-04. And again, we'll go into further detail on those contracts later on in this presentation on the scope of work of those contracts and really the changes for FPV-04. We broke it up into 3 contracts now, mainly because we needed additional time to gather that data. We are on our design advancements. Last time we had talked in September, we were starting 65%. Currently, we're about to complete 65% for FPV-03 and FPV-04. We're looking to completing that in March of this year. And then also our real estate team currently is working hand in hand with our non-federal sponsor, Velasco Drainage District, on land acquisition planning and our utility relocation planning. We're also working with industry very closely, all industry there with Dow, Phillips 66, Port Freeport, DOE, on all the utility relocation planning. Do this to me. Apologize, guys. This is having some technical difficulties. A nice little map was supposed to pop out.
Eddie?
There it goes. All right. So our Sabina Galveston Freeport and or Sabina Galveston Freeport and vicinity is one of three components to the Sabine to Galveston program, which also includes Port Arthur and vicinity and Orange County. This essentially is the first step towards a more resilient coast, and the purpose of the project is to reduce the impacts from potential flooding due to storm surge. This system is a comprehensive investigation of solutions to current and future coastal storm risk management problems in our coast. As you can see, we are taking a regional approach towards a stronger coast, and essentially this will be, if you want to call it, a system of systems. So as you can see here, we have our existing Freeport project, which will be improving approximately 11 to 12 miles of the existing levee system. Currently, the entire systems are about 42, 43 miles. And we're also replacing all 5 miles of flood wall. The other two elements of the Sabina Galveston program are Port Arthur, which is also an existing system very similar to the Freeport one. And we'll be doing a brand new system at Orange County, approximately 26 to 27 miles long. One of the other elements of our system here is the Coastal Texas study, which is essentially a barrier gate here at Bolivar, along with several other ecosystem restoration projects along the coast. One of the other ecosystem restoration projects would be our Jefferson County over here. And we also have our current existing Texas City Hurricane Flood Protection System. Okay, like I mentioned before, here's the three projects, the three elements of the Sabina Galveston program, which is the Freeport Project and the Port Arthur Project. These two are very similar. We're improving two existing systems, and brand new project 26 to 27 miles, the Orange County project. Since that is a brand new project, there will also be a Orange County mitigation element to that project. This project got authorized in 2018 by the Bipartisan Budget Act. This was post-Harvey. And again, our project sponsor is the Velasco Drainage District, and our total estimated cost is $704 million. So several project features that we'll have in this project is we'll be replacing all flood walls. It's approximately 5.25 miles of flood wall. We're going to replace all eye walls to T walls. These T walls, after Katrina, all eye walls were replaced by T walls. So we've been doing that along all coastal storm risk management projects. And these T walls have come out that they'll be done with sturdy concrete, wall shaped like an upside down T, and which makes them stronger than our previous eye wall designs. Like I mentioned before, we'll be also doing levee racing along the system, approximately 12 miles of levee races, and the height will vary in the system anywhere from 1 to 3 feet. 1 or 2 feet, I apologize. We will also be adding a new vertical lift gate at the Dow Barge Canal, and we'll be showing the exact location further along this presentation of where that proposed vertical lift gate will be. We're also planning to do several road closures and railroad closures. The number of closures and locations are still to be determined. And these road and railroad closures will be open the majority of the time. They will only be closed during a named storm event. So our project schedule, this is a part of a study that was completed back in 2017. The chief's report was signed by our Corps of Engineers chief back in May of 2017. And then right after that, due to the Bipartisan Act, the study got fully authorized to go into construction and fully funded by Congress again in 2018. We awarded our first contract in 2019, and we're currently on schedule to complete our design in 2023 and also start construction in 2023. We are looking to complete all construction by the end of 2026. Again, this is a quick overview of our project funding. Like I stated before, we're sharing this project with our non-federal sponsor, Velasco Drainage District, which they're responsible for 35% of the cost, which that's approximately $246 million. And federal is $457 million. I will now go ahead and pass it over to our lead engineer, Ben Codwell, and he'll go ahead and go over the scope of the work of our contracts.
Okay, thank you, Eddie. The Freeport and Vicinity Project, FPV, as we refer to it, is separated into 5 construction contracts. Those construction contracts are listed there on the left-hand side of your screen. And hopefully here in just a moment, the areas of work will be shown on there it is. The area of work of those 5 contracts are shown in blue on the map to the right. The FPV 02 contract is composed of 3 main features, the largest of which will be the construction of a new vertical lift gate near the mouth of the Dow Barge Canal. The bottom right blue square there on your screen. Also involved in that work is the 0.2 miles of levee and flood walls to connect the new vertical lift gate to the existing levee system. The second component, the blue circle on the upper left, will be a new drainage structure that'll be in the existing Dow Barge Canal North Levee. And the third piece, the other blue square, will be some improvements to the existing East Levee pump station. The FPV 03 contract, around and near the Dow chemical plant, what we refer to as the Old River North area, shown in blue there on the right. It includes about 3 miles of flood wall construction, 0.6 miles of new levee construction, and a few road closure gates. The FPV 04 contract is our largest in length project. You see in blue on the map, approximately 9 miles of enlargement of existing levee and 2 miles of flood wall construction. The FPV 04 contract, the Old River South area, shown in blue there on your screen. This contract was originally included in the 04 contract. It was separated out to allow time for surveys and collection of data needed for the design work that's ongoing. This contract includes 1.2 miles or so of new levee raise and 1.4 miles of new flood wall construction, and there'll be several road closure gates in the new flood wall. The 04B contract, similar to 04A, it was originally included in the 04 contract. It was separated out into these 3 small pieces. You can see in the blue boxes on your screen. These areas include our pipeline corridors where there's pipelines and existing utilities crossing the levee. It was separated out to give us time for coordination with the utilities owners. This contract includes approximately 2,000 feet of levee raise. That's a quick look at the 5 Freeport contracts. I'll turn it over now to the real estate office, and they'll be discussing the right of entry process. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Corrine Rampal, and I'm one of the realty specialists with Galveston District's Real Estate Division. And today I'm going to briefly explain real estate's roles and responsibilities with this project. So, in order to gather enough data to support the design, various surveys and investigations must be conducted. That is where real estate comes in. We will send right of entry requests to property owners, and what that is it is a legal document that grants the government and its contractors access to private property. So on the screen here, I have an example of what our standard right of entry package looks like. It contains a signature page, information on the type of survey work that will be conducted, a map identifying the property we are seeking access to, and a contact information sheet. This sheet is 2 parts. The bottom half is where property owners can list any site-specific conditions. Now, what that is it allows the property owner to set the parameters at which we have to follow in order to gain access. Site-specific conditions can include things such as notifying the property owner in advance prior to entry, providing a schedule of dates and times when work will be conducted, or the property owner letting us know what days and times we can or cannot access the property, informing us of any wildlife, animals, or pets that may be on site. And for some of our bigger commercial industries, they require a safety training course prior to granting us access. And these are just a few examples. This sums up what a right of entry entails, and as you can see, it is essential in obtaining this in order to help us support our mission. Now, upon design completion, we will be able to identify all lands required or needed for the project. VDD will then receive a notice from the Corps to proceed with land acquisition. All land acquisitions are solely the responsibility of Velasco Drainage District. My team will simply be guiding them through the process. While there are some lands that may fall outside of VDD's existing right-of-way, we will be working within their right-of-way as much as possible. All land acquisitions will follow the Uniform Relocation Assistance and Real Property Acquisitions Policies Act of 1970. Therefore, VDD will appoint an appraiser to assess the property. Property owners are welcome to accompany the appraiser during the inspection. Upon completion of an appraisal report, the property owner will be offered fair market value for their property. I would like to emphasize that there are no home or commercial relocations anticipated for this project. And this concludes real estate's involvement in the Freeport project. Thank you. Eddie, I'll pass it back to you.
Thank you, Corrine. The last portion that we have to show the public is our public website that we have, and I believe most of you guys have probably seen this website because this is where we have the information in regards to these public meetings, the times, and the link that helped you get here to this presentation this morning. We'll be updating this project website as we continue with our project, with our design, and once we start our construction, we'll be updating the public of where we're doing construction and the schedule of the beginning and the completion of that construction. We do also have our story map site where you can see it's a more interactive site for the public where you can see in regards to this project and to the Sabina Galveston program as well. So with that in mind, I would like to pass it over now to Connor.
Thank you, Eddie. Before we begin the question and answer session, we're going to pause for just a moment as we collect your questions. Thank you for your patience. Okay, before we begin the Q&A session, as a reminder, please do not unmute your phone or WebEx audio connection. We encourage you to continue entering questions into the WebEx chat feature as we move into the session. And although we may not have time to respond to all questions submitted during the meeting today, we encourage you to submit those questions or inquiries to the project email address. We will now begin the Q&A portion of the meeting. The first question we have is for you, Eddie. And that is, where will the gate structure be located? And is it a new or existing gate?
Thank you, Connor. That's a good question. So I'll go back to our map area of the contracts that we showed earlier. Hopefully it updates this time. While this is updating, I do want to re-emphasize and let the public know of our website and our story map that are out there for the public, and all this information is there available for you. It does show the scope of work of our project and the area of where this is located. So here's our proposed new lift gate. It's brand new. We're not replacing any current lift gates out there or any other type of gates. This is a brand new lift gate. It's approximately 100 feet wide. We have been in constant communication, working together not only with VDD but with Dow and their users and the pilots that go through the Dow Barge Canal. We've been working very closely with them to make sure that this doesn't stop any of their day-to-day needs. So here again, here's the proposed lift gate at the Dow Barge Canal that we currently have.
Thank you, Eddie. Our next question is also for you, and that is, will the flood walls next to the gate be replaced, and how soon?
Yes, so all flood walls are currently scheduled to be replaced. Again, it's approximately 5 miles of flood walls that will be replaced from eye walls to T-walls. Those are currently scheduled. All construction is currently scheduled to begin in 2023. And again, we'll update the public and as once we start construction and when we're looking at completing the construction. If you look at these maps, all the red portions of this map, that's where the flood walls are currently what we're looking at.
Thank you, Eddie. I'm coming back to you for the next one. It's a three-part question. That is, will there be a new pump station? Are the pump stations new or existing? And what will the pumping capacity be?
So the current plan right now, which is in our project for FPV-02, we are looking to improve the current pumping station, which is located right here in this square. And the plan is to add 3 pumps. This will be done by Velasco Drainage District. They will be doing this contract themselves as working kind credit. And in regards to the capacity, I'll go ahead and pass it over to David from VDD, and he could probably go into more detail with that.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Eddie. I'll be happy to. At this current time, the East Levy pump station's capacity is at 1.2 million gallons per minute. With the planned approved additional pumps, it would increase the capacity to a little over 2 million gallons per minute. This would be the Drainage District's largest pump station. On a side note, separate from this project, Velasco Drainage District is in the process of upgrading all its pump stations to newer technologies to maintain capacity. Thank you, Eddie.
Thanks, David. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, David. At this time, we currently only have one more question in our queue. So I do want to encourage everyone, if you have a question, to go ahead and submit that through the chat feature so we can make sure and get that answered. If you don't have any questions at this time, like Eddie just presented a few moments ago, please visit the project website, the story map, and utilize that project email address if any questions come to you at a later point in time. So with that, the last question that we have for now is, how soon will the flood wall upgrades and levee raisings take place?
So again, currently we're in the design process. We're about to complete 65% of our design. We're looking to complete that design by 2023. And we're looking to start construction in 2023. We don't have exact dates of which specific flood wall will be done when. Once we get that information from our contractors, we'll make sure to put that information and update our project website and our story maps, our storyboards, and keep the public informed of the latest and greatest project details in regards to this project. So again, the construction will begin in 2023, and we're looking to complete it in 2026. I will encourage you to just keep checking the latest information on our project website and our storyboards. And again, we're going to be doing these public information sessions on a quarterly basis, and keep the public informed. And like Connor mentioned, if you have any other questions, please feel free to submit them. And you can contact us or Velasco Drainage District at the same time, and we'll be more than glad to get back to you as soon as possible.
Thank you, Eddie. I'm not seeing any additional questions come through. So thank you, everyone, for your attendance and questions today. We have just a few minutes remaining in the meeting. If you did not get a chance to ask your question, again, we encourage you to utilize that project email address, visit the project website and the story map in case you can get your questions answered there. We also want to remind you that we do have an additional public information scheduled at the same time, 11:30 a.m. Tomorrow. If you think of anything you'd like to ask the project team at that time. And with that, Kelly, I'll turn it over to you for closing remarks.
Thank you, Connor. I just wanted to point out again the URL for the website. You all had to reach that to be able to launch into the meeting, so you should be able to find that pretty easily. On the left-hand side, under those 4 buttons, you can find the story map launch, which will take you over to the interactive mapping systems that we have for the project. Everything you've seen today is either on that website or on the story map, so you should be able to click into those. And you can actually manipulate those maps. You can go in and zoom to your home address, for example, type that in with the little magnifying glass to find out what's happening in your neck of the woods. And as everyone has mentioned so far, we are going to religiously have these meetings over and over and over again throughout the life of this project so that you guys can keep track of where we're at, which contracts are underway, which ones are coming. Literally, you'll be able to see live camera footage of what's happening on the scene. And our intent here is to be wholly transparent and to keep you apprised of everything going on, not only on the Freeport project, but on the other 2 projects in the Sabine to Galveston program. With that in mind, we're also planning on conducting something called crowdsourcing in the next month or so, which is basically a surveying technique so that we can find out whether we are getting news across to you or not. And that will help inform us and help us strategize how best to get that information out. So if you do see an invite to help us with that, would be very thoughtful and meaningful. So with that, I want to thank you again for taking time out of the middle of your day, giving up lunch for us and having a conversation with us. Thank you for your good questions. And we really appreciate your feedback, and we look forward to meeting again and again with you in the future. David, would you like to offer some closing thoughts?
Yes, I just would like to thank everybody for attending these sessions. We look forward to hearing from you guys, your input regarding this program and this project. We'll be happy to work with the Corps, our local industrial partners, and the community as a whole for this project. And we look forward to seeing you guys again. Thank you.
And thank you again, everyone, for your participation today and the interest that you have shown in the Freeport project. This meeting is now adjourned.